Welcome to Today at the Races here on Sunday. Here I am again with Tim Tulloch. Tim, we were there front and center for all of the action yesterday. What a great day of racing on Saturday.
It was a super day of racing. It was tiring. 11 races, those 4 stakes. It just seemed to me that every single race was a really good race. The stakes were very, very good, but even the undercard races were very good. It was a fun day. We had a nice crowd out here at the Laurel yesterday also.
Speaking of that, thank you again, one and all, for coming over, stopping over, and having a little bit of your own fun yesterday here at Laurel Park. And again, we'll get into it a little bit later on the stakes action, but such a fun day all around from beginning to end. So can't wait to have one of those soon. And, of course, taking a nice look outside 77, that's going to uptick in degrees in a little bit. So a nice and gosh, that turf looks nice, Tim.
Oh, it's nice. I was on it a couple times yesterday watching some races. The track is in good shape. The weather couldn't be better. I mean,
right.
It's going to be low 80s, mid 80s today. But, hey, we're going to take it. Every day like this is one less day of April rain.
And as we turn the clock towards March, we're just getting in the middle of April here. Let's kick off the Sunday racing with the early pick 5, and it starts in this claiming 10,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have ever won 3, going 6 furlongs here on the dirt. Let's go ahead and take a look at your and my top selection. Addie's Laddie TNT, back from March 26th, last time out from the top of the stretch onwards.
Yeah, this was a good effort from Addie's Laddie TNT, right back at the same level this afternoon, and you see him in between horses there with the white blinkers. Now, he doesn't quite get up, but it's not because he's not trying. He's trying all the way down to the wire. 5 drifts out on him a little bit there, but he still keeps on coming, just misses by about just a length. He ran a good number that day. In fact, it was his lifetime best figure, 67. He appears to me like he's going back in the right direction. There's speed in this race. He likes to run like that. He likes to lay off horses. I think set up for him. He can come with his little bit of run with some speed down to his inside.
One horse that doesn't have much speed is going to be your current 5-2 morning line 7-5 favorite, and Bob Classeris' Heads or Tails with Horacio Caramanos. This one came from off the pace on the outside last time and showed a little bit of flourish. We'll see if we can see that performance again, Tim.
Yeah, look, this will be second off of a break today. It was a decent return. It was a good return. He only got beat a length to a next out winner in Pelota. This one's going to take some money this afternoon, so I'm hoping we're going to get a little bit better price on Addie's Laddie's TNT. But this is a horse that has races up and down his form that could win here this afternoon. However, there's questions. He was eased 2 starts ago. He went on a little bit of a break. He came back on March 5th at this 3 lifetime $10,000 level. Yeah, he does show work since then, so that's encouraging. But I'm not ready to jump off the cliff with him.
Fair enough, and I definitely do see that, which is why, especially with Addie's Laddie's TNT trying as well as he did last time out, makes him all the more attractive for hopefully a little bit of a price. 6-1 right now on the board with what we're looking at. But let's go ahead and take on to race number 2. That does start the early pick 4. Tim, you've got a ticket lined up. There you go, single right away in race number 2.
I've got 2 singles. I'm confident. I have confidence in Sunshine. Oh, yeah, here we go. Race 2, early pick 4, single, and I single on the 6 scat for Jamie Ness. First time in the barn of Jamie Ness, getting back on the main track for only the second time in her career. Third race, I spread here, 3, 4, 7, 8. That's a 5.5 furlong race on the grass. Race 4, I spread again, 1, 5, 6, 7. That's a maiden 12. Use as many as you can. And then I single again in race 5 on the 4, uncaptured storm for Anthony Ferrier. $16 ticket on the early pick 4.
I like that single in race number 5. For that $16 ticket that Tim Tulloch just gave you, that does start in race number 2 in this maiden, claiming $30,000 for the girls. On the one turn mile for the straight 3-year-old fillies. Tim, let's talk about your first single on your ticket in my top selection, and well as Sing Scat for Jamie Ness gets Jamie Rodriguez.
As I mentioned, going the first time for Jamie Ness. He hits about 34% first time in his barn. He's adding Lasix for the first time. This filly will be getting Lasix for the first time this afternoon. She's getting conventional dirt for the first time since she made her debut in May of 2022 down there at Gulfstream Park. It was going short. She got bumped around at the break and was never in contention. She's been running on the synthetic. She's been running on the turf, and she has races, 2 back on the turf down there at Gulfstream Park. That's a big race. A couple races on the synthetic that will work here. The numbers are there. I think she is going to be just fine on the dirt. Irish War Cry on top. Scat Daddy on the bottom. The dirt should suit her just fine, especially at this level.
Especially in the barn of Jamie Ness, 29% from turf to dirt with that as well. The number 2 on the inside, Anti-Rona for Tim Keith keeps Jean Avello on top. A nice effort going on an off track last time out, going 5.5.
Yeah, it was a promising debut, no doubt about that. Over the slop when she didn't get away, she was a bit outrun. She came with some finish. She only gets beat 2 lengths for the whole thing while running third. Now she's stretching out. Second time, her second start of her career. That's could be a little bit of a question, but Uncle Lino, Sky Mesa Mare, this should suit her, and with this group, I think she will be okay.
I think you said it right there. Within this group, there is where she gets a little bit of advantage, gets a little bit of leeway for trying out routing for her second time start overall. But again, you mentioned it, Uncle Lino, 20% with his second time starters, 21% with his first time routers as well. We also go with the 3 and the 5 underneath with Nami and Montana Rose for Kelly Rubli, Carlos Lopez on top. But race number 3 is this starter optional claiming 12.5, going 5.5 on the turf. First turf race of the day on Sunday for the 3-year-olds and up, scratching the 1, 2, 5, 10, 14, and 16. The 15 will run. Tim, let's take a look at your top selection in the number 7 Battle Bus for Linda Albert gets Kevin Gomez. This is one that's just been he's always going to be sticking around there, and he's well off the layoff.
Yes, he is. A big scratch in this race in the 2 Town of Gold, who was my original top pick for Georgie Duarte. But let's talk about Battle Bus. This is a 7-time winner on the grass, and he's returning from vacation. We have not seen him since last November. This is a strictly turf horse. 6 wins over the Laurel turf. He has some gas. He's going to be using it. There's no doubt about that underneath Kevin Gomez. Kevin Gomez is very, very familiar with this horse, and he can fire you some good races. I mean, this race, if you can run a 72, 73 speed figure, by your speed figure, it's good enough to get the job done here. I think Battle Bus is going to take it to him. Been working well for his return.
With that bullet work on April 12th to really kind of seal the deal that he's ready to rock and roll back into turf season for Battle Bus.
Yeah, and look, he returns. He's protected, so they're hoping to keep him protected and keep him around for another turf season.
I'm going to touch on the number 4, the Great Go-Go for Mikey Gorham gets Jamie Rodriguez. The last time we saw this one on the turf was back on the 14th of July. Didn't get out of there right away. This is a bit of a need-the-lead type. What I like is that we get Rodriguez in the saddle with this one. Rodriguez has been able to get this guy out of the gate relatively quick in form and fashion in these last 4 starts specifically. So this one, again, we're talking about a short turf sprint. Things are going to be very heated on the backside. It's a big fight for the lead there with these turf sprints, and this horse can handle that kind of competition on the backside, which gives me a little bit of confidence in him. And plus, he's fit. He has a race in back on the 31st of March.
Yeah, well, he's in good form. There's no doubt about that. The question is, can he show the kind of speed on the turf that he does on the dirt? He's coming out of a nice race where he only got beat ahead behind Top Boss. Top Boss is in pretty good form right now, so you have to like that. But it's just a question. I use him up underneath. The 8 is interesting to me too, Bourbon and Ice. This one finished out 2022 on very, very good notes on the turf. 16,003 lifetime at Colonial. Nice race here, going 5.5, 72 speed figure. Really nice race last June. That race really jumps off the page. He got beat 2 lengths that day. 2 a next out winner, but fired a 76. we talked about all the speed in this race.
Right.
It could set up perfectly for Bourbon and Ice.
Especially with the extended second
wire
wire here for the 5.5. So I absolutely love that angle for an under the radar barn. Absolutely. Tim Tollett goes 7.843 there in race number 3. Race number 4 is this maiden claiming 12.5, going 6 furlongs here on the dirt for the straight 3-year-olds. Tim, you have the number. You and I both have the number 5 on top. Best choice baby for Damon DeLavico gets J. Ron Barbosa here today. Still is knocking on the door, but this is the second time in the barn for Damon DeLavico.
Yeah, I went 4 deep here on my early pick 4. This race could go a lot of ways as far as I'm concerned. The best choice baby 8-5 on the morning line, dropping second off the claim for Damon back to the level in which he claimed this one. Tried the 20,000 last time out, sloppy racetrack, 5.5. That did not work. I like him back at this level. And you look down his form, you'll see he's been competitive at this level before, getting decent enough figures for this group and getting decent enough results.
Absolutely. You and I also both have the number 6 in our exact, and Bravo Chrome for Kenny Cox gets Charlie Marquez. This is another one that once this one got down to the 12.5 level, started to get a little bit more comfortable with this competition.
Yeah, this could be interesting here because this race is pretty void of any kind of speed.
Correct.
But Bubba Crone has shown a little gas in the past. Now, he hasn't in his last couple races, but you look down his form, you're going to see a race where he got to the front and he just missed back in January. So, and a couple other races. So this could be a race where Charlie Marquez and Kenny Cox go, look, let's get this horse in front.
Right.
See if he gets brave on the lead. This might be our best opportunity to do that.
One I'm kind of interested in underneath is the number 1 step ahead for John Salzman Jr., Xavier Perez. John Salzman, 36% as of lately with his second-time starters, 11 for 4 and 1 second and 1/3 to back that up. You do have Long River, who's 2 for 10 with his second-time starters as well. Didn't get away very well, so it depends because you have Xavier Perez who can get aggressive. Now he's had a ride on this first-time starter. Maybe gets a second go at it. Maybe able to get a little bit quicker out of the gate on the rail.
He's going to have to. He's got to get away from the gate. Didn't get away. He ended up running a really nice race while not getting away in debut in the middle of the field. Now he's down on the fence. He's going to have to get away. If he gets away, there's certainly hope. We know John Salzman Jr. horses like to show speed. So if he breaks on the fence, he's going. Yeah, you can guarantee he's going.
But if he's going, I feel like we're going to get a much, much better improvement on that last time out effort. So there we have it. Tim Tulloch, 5.671. There in the 4th. I go 5.614. Race number 5. In that claiming 20,000 going a mile and 16th on the dirt for the straight 3-year-olds. Tim, you and I both have the number 4 Uncaptured Storm, but that also does start the Rainbow Pick 6 for me where I do include Uncaptured Storm. I also include the 2 and the 5. 3 deep in races 6 and 7. I thought about going a little bit deeper in race number 6 because why not? I definitely thought about adding the 3 with that as well. Let's see, 1, 4, 10. I could have added the 2, the 3, and the 13 with that in race number 6 in that maiden special weight going a 1 mile on the turf. And that is also the race of our jackpot super high 5. Race number 7, I go 3 deep in 1, 2, 3. My single is in race number 8, and that is on the number 5 horse, Royal Whisper for Brittany Russell. Gets the blinkers on after a long layoff, but she's good off the long layoff. Winner of the Weber City Miss yesterday. Races 9 and 10, 2 deep, 4 and 7, 2 and 5. A nice conservative ticket of $21.60. Again, if you're going to add anything off of my structuring the ticket, add it in that race number 6. Of course, our jackpot super high 5 race as well. But race number 5 that starts everything is this claiming 20,000. As I mentioned, a mile and 16th on the dirt for the straight 3-year-olds. You and I talk about Uncaptured Storm. You're single on your ticket for Anthony Ferrier and Arnaldo Bocachica.
She is. Anthony owns this one. He claimed it for $12,500. Not very good on the slop last time for that $40,000. He drops her back down to the 20. 2 races before that, very, very good at the 40, but ran second, didn't win. Back down to the 20, where she did win 4 starts ago, going a mile. She's getting 2 turns here this afternoon. she looks pretty tough here. She lays just enough off the pace and can come with some finish. So I think Uncaptured Storm is a pretty safe single in my early pick 5.
She is. It sets
if
up,
I get that far.
If it sets up well for her. Let's talk about the exacta play that both of us have. In the number 5, that was then, this is now, Mikey Gorham, Jamie Rodriguez. Another solid couple of races out of this colt.
Yeah, look, he likes going 2 turns. The best races on his form are all going 2 turns, and that's what he's going to get today. He will be forwardly placed by Jamie Rodriguez. He needs to get away. It is a mile 16th. If he doesn't get away perfectly, maybe it doesn't hurt him too much, but he likes to be in front. So a good break is going to be important for that was then, this is now.
All of our eyes are going to be on Uncaptured Storm as Tim Tulloch goes 4.537. I go 4.527 there in race number 5, the start of the Rainbow Pick 6. And now race number 6 is, as I mentioned, the jackpot super high 5. That does start here in race number 6. We have a carryover. If we can take a look at that carryover, 23,000, just over that. And, of course, that'll be climbing a little bit by the time we get to race number 6. That is in this maiden special weight going a 1 mile on the turf for the girls. 3, 4, and 5 scratch in the number 6, Solving Progress. Big scratch in the number 12, Elk Lodge, for me at least. And then 14, 15, and 16 are scratches as well. But you and I both have eyes on Gypsy Queen. Let's take a look at that run back from early March at the fairgrounds, taking a look at that start.
Yeah, and it's subtle. She just breaks a little bit to the outside and just a beat slow. Not terribly, but just a beat slow. She's on the outside. She gets a little outrun to the turn. She has to navigate the outrider there on that narrow course. But there she is. She gets herself in some decent position. And when she turns for home, she has to work herself. We're going to see that in a minute. She turns for home. She's got to work in between horses here a little bit. She's trying all the way down. It's a tough ask. She's going a mile. This was a mile, first time out of the box for Michael Stidham. And she runs a decent race. She runs a nice figure, 62 by her speed figure. She draws the rail today. I think if she gets a good break, she's going to be on it, or she'll be in front, or she'll be on the pace this afternoon. She was never that far out of it in New Orleans. I think she's looking for the lead if she gets a good break today under Javion Toledo.
I would have to agree. Michael Stidham, 26% with his second-time routers as of lately, and then you have Magdaglia de Oro, who is 19% with his second-time starters as well. And Distorted Humor Mare doesn't hurt things either. So let's talk about the number 10 on the outside. The girl from Ireland, Graham Motion, Georgie Rui. Graham Motion he's had a pretty decent weekend here in Maryland as of lately. These runners up in Tampa are turning up here in Laurel Park.
I'm going to tell you what I don't like about this filly, and I have her in my exacta. I don't like her race on May 12th and her race on in January down there at Tampa, where they kind of pressed her a little bit, kept her a little closer. She backed up. The 3 other races, when they kind of let her just settle back there, she wasn't good enough to win, but at least she was passing horses in the stretch. I think that's the way she wants to go. She wants to run. You get Georgia Ruiz, who loves to ride that way. This could be a really, really good fit. Ruiz on the girl from Ireland. The figures work. I just hope they don't press her early, but she's on the outside. I bet you they don't. They got to draft in behind a little farther and come with a run.
He's good off the cuff. If she breaks well, he's the type that's going to do his best to keep her really settled. This filly isn't going to be rushed at all by Georgie, and I hope not. He had 2 wins yesterday. One was on the turf for Delacour, and this one he's going to get a nice ride on this one. So hopefully hopefully the stars align for the girl from Ireland. Let's just get into number 3 in Lusty for Brittany Russell Sheldon Russell. Brittany's not the strongest with her first-time router, so what a because I fought with this horse on and off my ticket in my top 4 selections. So what was the tipping point for you to turn this filly on in your top selections, Tim?
Well, the scratch of the 12 helped because I like the 12 also. But, this filly, she's by Animal Kingdom. She's out of the Smart Strike mare. Her dam was a winner in debut going short on the dirt. Her second dam was a grade 1 winner going long on the dirt. Brittany's good with the first-time starters. We know that. this one's cut out to handle the grass. So I'm going to give this one a shot. We saw a first-time starter of Mike Trombetta's yesterday run very, very well, going a mile on the grass. I think this is a filly that can maybe do the same thing. And, you know, they're always dangerous. Those Russell horses are always dangerous, especially the firsters.
The works on the synthetic certainly helped things for this filly's case a little bit here today. So there we go. Tim Tulloch, 110.34 there in our jackpot. Super high at 5, and we'll be right back for the rest of the races after this commercial.
Pop, pop, it's showtime, showtime, showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, don't believe me, just watch. Hey, 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 oh! Yes, you make me feel right. I've been locked out of heaven. I'ma leave the door open. That's right. We out here tripping in finesse. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are.
Yep. And here we are, we're back. We were just discussing the Brittany Russell trainee going first time on the turf there in race number 6. But race number 7 is that claiming 20,000, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the straight 3-year-old fillies. Scratching the 1A Divisibility, scratching the number 4 Rousey Express. Tim, you have the number 2 on top in Moco Golden. Let's go ahead and take a look at this Anthony Ferrier trainee back on January 28th from the top of the stretch to the wire.
We picked this one up. Moco Gold is getting to the lead right here. Had laid about 3 or 4 lengths off the pace earlier. Got to the lead just inside the quarter pole. Gets really game here, holding off this one. Miss Fussy Pants late. Miss Fussy Pants would come out of this race and win. She gets really game there. She went out of town last couple races up the Penn National trying to take down that A other than. She didn't run poorly, not at all. She ran second 2 times. Anthony brings her back here, puts her in for the 20,000. This should be a very, very good spot for her. She might have her hand forced a little bit, having to break from the fence, but I think I have lots of trust in Arnaldo Bocachica.
Yeah, she was able to break off of the 2-post 2 back at Penn National and and get that similar type of experience. So it seems like she's not. It's going to be interesting to see if Boca Chica puts this filly up to the front, because 2 out of the last 3 starts, he's had her on the inside and he hasn't pushed her to get up there in front. So, but regardless, I think she's going to be showing up here today. If she can transfer those numbers at all, certainly has a very, very strong place here. I go with the number 3 on top. Need a marker for Jerry Robb, Xavier Perez. This filly has been showing she got some confidence, and then she was first time against winners on and off going, and then she comes back and really gets some confidence on that inside post in that claiming 20,000 last time out.
And 3 starts ago at the 12.5 level, that was a good effort. Ran a good figure that day. As you mentioned, the race, her most recent race where she just missed. It's all about the break for her. She needs to get away. She doesn't always get away the best. If she gets away, she certainly is in the conversation. She's staying at this $20,000 level. I like Moco Gold a little bit better because dropping in class and getting some class relief. But nothing wrong with Nita Marker. But going to have to come back with one of those 2 races.
Absolutely. Let's also touch quickly on the number 1 Bossiness. You and I both have this one in our exacta. Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez has broke that maiden going to the lead, but hasn't been able to come from off of the pace wall, Tim.
No, she hasn't, but she's 3 times, she broke her maiden, and she's come back. She's run 3 races against winners. They haven't been bad efforts. So she got beat nose while running second 2 back, and then 7/8 of a mile. She got beat 2 lengths that day. There's probably going to be a pace that's going to set up. She needs a pace to set up for her. I think the pace will materialize this afternoon. You've got Cocktail Dreaming on the outside who can show a little speed. And, of course, the 2 inside horses are going to have to do something.
Right.
They're going to have to do something, and she might be able to just draft in and come with some finish.
Tim Tulloch, 2-1-3-6 there in the 7th. Race number 8 is a restricted allowance, going 5.5 on the dirt for the girls, 3 years old and up. Tim, let's go ahead and take a look at your top selection in summer odds back on the 18th of March in the Conover from the top of the stretch onwards.
Yeah, look at this one from the top of the stretch onward, all the way out there, and wasn't too much closer to the fence around the turn. But this is a mare who kind of keeps on trying. As you mentioned, this is a Conover, and look, those are some serious horses that she almost lays it on. This is a great finish. She's in between horses. That's Marvelous coming up on the outside. Street Loot, you might have heard of her, and Award Wanted, that one too. Those are some serious little runners around here. She got beat a nose to Forget About It. The 2 races back, Forget About It would come back and win again. This will be her 4th race off the layoff. She's been good here at Laurel Park. She's going to have to work out. Bryce is going to have to work out a trip from the fence.
Yep.
But with that said, I think there's plenty of speed with Tam Char, Frock, and Sparkle Sprinkle. Jerry Robb on the outside, and even Shine Like a Diamond all have a little bit of gas, so it could set up for her. Now, I'm trying to beat the 5 Royal Whisper, your top pick.
Sure.
There's a Brittany Russell, or runner, returning from a layoff. 78 by her speed figure when we last saw her on June 18th. That was a big race. She's never done anything wrong. Adding blinkers today, clearly the one to beat, and has been working well. But I'm going to try to beat her here today.
Yeah, go for it, because if it's all about if this mare, we don't know how we know how she is in her first time start, but we don't know how she is off of the layoff. So there's only one way to find out. I'm going to go ahead and take a chance, especially with the blinkers on. But if on the off chance this filly, as an individual, because the barn stats back her up, she doesn't come up to snuff here in this first time back effort, why not with summer odds? As long as Bryson Butterfly can just keep a cool head on him and let the trip happen for him here coming off the rail.
Yeah, I think he can. And it's just, for me, when I look at this race, Summer Odds has been running against tougher.
Gritty. She's gritty.
She's been running against tougher her whole career. You can just look at her PPs, and she's been running against some tough horses and hanging in there pretty well. Royal Whisper needs to prove she can run against some tough horses, but you can't run away from that gaudy 78.
It's
sure.
hard to deny, but we'll see how Summer Odds, Tim's top selection, hangs in there in race number 8. Race number 9 is the other restricted allowance, going 5.5 on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the 2, bump and run. Scratch in the 3. Judy's Army. You and I both land on Lad Needs a Handler in Timmy Salzman's barn. With Jamie Rodriguez.
Well, I hate seeing scratches, but boy, did this work out for us. The 2 with speed, bump and run. The 3, Judy's Army, with speed. They're both out. Now Lad Needs a Handler moves 2 in, and he has some speed also. He's been in very, very, very good form.
Yep.
He's a winner of 2 of his last 5. Just miss effort behind Pit Stop Man, 2 back, and come back and win. Figures have been really, really, really good lately. He loves this 5.5 furlong distance, and look at who he runs for. He runs well for Mr. Rodriguez.
He absolutely does. So he's a hard horse, especially with those scratches. Really hard horse to deny right now. So there we go. Lad Needs a Handler. You also have the number 7 Rad Paisley for Anthony Ferrier. Arnaldo Boca Chica could be shaping up to be a pretty decent day for this pair.
It could be. This horse has been close at this level on a few other occasions. It's already won an Open out of the van last year at right here at Laurel. Actually, shows speed, but I don't. He's not as fast as Lad Needs a Handler. I don't think.
I agree.
I don't think, and I don't know if they're going to really try to go up there and try to bang heads with him. I think that might be the bad move. But he is on the outside, and maybe can lay off and stay in the clear
get a
comfortable spot.
Comfortable pace.
Yep.
A comfortable pace type of spot situation, just maybe sitting perhaps right off of without putting pressure and killing himself trying to go against Lad Needs a Handler. So we'll see how that little match race on the front end goes there in race number 9. Race number 10, last race of this marvelous weekend that we've had here at Laurel Park, and it is in this maiden claiming 20,000, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the straight 3-year-old fillies. You and I both have Maria from Miami, Brittany Russell, try number 11, with Javian Salido on top.
Yeah, the 11th time could be the charm here.
Yep.
Dropping from the 30, 45, maiden 45,000 in 3 previous starts. All good efforts. Good second place finishes. The numbers or the figures aren't going to knock anybody down, but they don't have to be for this group. They're good enough, and this one stands above the rest of this field here.
Let's talk about your number 8 on the outside. Savvy dancer for Hugh McMahon, Axel Concepcion. Hugh McMahon with his first-time starters lately have been cranking it up a bit.
They have been getting better, and you've been here. You've got you didn't use the 8, but I get a field like this. You're the clear-cut horse you want to have on top, and then you look at the rest and you go like, "Whoa, you guys have a lot of tries." Let me go with the first, and of course the 5 lady dancer coming out of a pretty decent race most recently over the slop.
There we go, and there we have it for your card here on Sunday. Let's head on over to Lightning Round, and Tim, talk about your best bet and your value play of the day.
Well, my value play comes in the first race right here this afternoon. I thought we cut out the audio, but that's okay. They didn't like the lightning in front of her. Let's say best bet of the day. Now, this is my price play of the day.
Price play, sorry.
Addie's Laddie TNT in the opener, 7-2 on the line. I hope to get that, maybe more. I think the one heads or tails will take a lot of money and maybe help us out there. But that's a horse who's coming off a lifetime best. My best bet of the day, well, you just have to go to the 9th race. That's Lad Needs a Handler. This one's going to get to the front and take them a long, long way. I expect him to take them all the way this afternoon. 2 big races, back-to-back lifetime best figures for Timmy Salzman and Jamie Rodriguez.
No looking back for Lad Needs a Handler for Tim Tulloch's best bet of the day here on Sunday. Let's talk about the awesome stakes action that we had yesterday, Tim. Just touching into it a little bit, we're just gonna chat really quick about the first race in the Heavenly Cause, and that resulted in the win for Beth's Dream. Barboza Jr. with Rodriguez, a really nice, comfortable in company on the front end, as opposed to that just commanding presence last time out at Gulfstream Park.
Yeah. It was a tougher race, but it was always moving like a winner.
Right.
I mean, it was simply always moving like a winner, was up close, dropped back a little bit around the turn, then just came with that nice run. Spotty mare, but now she's got a little black type on her pedigree.
There we go. And, of course, big congratulations to Phil Capuano in his first stakes win with Always in the Hurry with Frank Whiteley, a nice price of $19.40. Georgie Rui back in Maryland and giving a nice little win back on the horse that he has had some success on.
Yeah, that was a nice race of Frank Whiteley yesterday. Big field, some really good crack sprinters, but Always in a Hurry. 4 for 5 now, going 7/8. You called it yesterday. That was a good call, and again, congratulations to Phil Capuano.
Now let's head on over to the win and your ins. We are on the count. Everybody's talking Derby, but we're on the countdown to the second jewel here, jewel number 2 here. And here we go. Cats in the Timber now eligible for the Black Eyed Susan.
I watched this race again this morning. I said, man, she ran a good race. And then I thought, wow, she ran an even better race. They were walking. They were absolutely walking the first part of it. She's 5-6 lengths out of it, so everyone had some run from the top of the stretch of the wire. You better if you go 3/4 and 1:15. That's exactly, and she out-sprinted them to the wire. That was a good-looking race for Cats in the Timber. A filly that I've always kind of have a little affection for, and I was happy to see her win.
I didn't mention this early on when we first talked about the stakes action, but the numbers came out. The buyer numbers 84 for Perform, which we'll get into. Cats in the Timber was a 65. Always in a Hurry was 95. Best Dream in 89. And with that being said, I just mentioned Perform and getting an 84 in the Federico Tessio. Let's take a look at that. What a fun race and what a stunning finish there for Shook McGahee and Fergal Lynch.
Yeah, just watch the chestnut horse there down on the fence. He's coming out there, the 7, and now Fergal ducks back in here. This is Perform. Now he's getting pushed down on the fence. Fergal gets him here. Fergal, where are you going to go, Fergal? I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to do it right now. And guess what? I'm going to get up right right where I'm supposed to. Boy, that was a good-looking performance from Perform. Well ridden. I mean, yeah.
There's
yeah,
not
well
much to say. took him to school. Yeah, that was a hugely exciting event that we had to wrap up racing there on Saturday. As you mentioned, a whole exciting card that we had all of yesterday, Tim.
My favorite quote yesterday, you asked Fergal, he said, at what point of the race did you feel comfortable? He said, never. I didn't.
That was my favorite part as well.
My favorite part. But it was a great day yesterday. Looking forward to a good day here.
And we are going to take it to Dave Rodman to talk further about that good day that we're going to have here on Sunday for some more changes and scratches. Thanks, everybody, and good luck.